Oh god, people. Oh god. You absolutely disgust me, society. So basically, what's been going on is so just the other day, Secoriea Turner, um, an 8-year-old black girl was in her mom's vehicle, and I think, and her mom's friend was in it, also in the car too. So before I talk about this, so I think I'm gonna talk about Rayshard Brooks. Yeah, who was like a black person who was protesting against police police brutality and racial injustice, and it's fair that she did that. He or she did that, but got killed. But Brooks got killed right on June 12th last month. So they were just driving in and off the interstate, and often most likely heading home or something. And then there were the Black Lives Matter protesters who like literally blocked the road and literally forced them to pull into a certain spot, and then Secoria's her mom refused and tried to go in another way, and then that's when two protesters started shooting at the vehicle. Guess who it killed? No, it's and this is like Black Lives Matter protesters. So if you are these people are protesting for Black lives. Am I correct? Now, yet, if you like literally kill someone of your own kind, then technically you're not really. Yeah. So, Secoriea, her mom, she was brought to the hospital, dead. The bullet had already got to her first. It's a shame that such a young girl could get killed at it by violent protesters who had and the media keeps calling these people peaceful protesters, but I do not see anything peaceful right now. All I see is violence, vandalism, looting. So her mom, as I said, we understand the frustration of Rayshard Brooks. We ain't got nothing to do with that. We're innocent. We didn't mean no harm. My baby didn't mean no harm. And cause they weren't there for like Rayshard Brooks or anything, and they were just like trying to get by, and these people were just blocking their way. So which sort of leads on like another one. So and Secoriea, her dad is not happy about it, and you kill one of your own kind. What's wrong with you? Or some words that he had to say. And Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter does not matter until you actually do care about your black lives. And I understand his frustration. Sure, people like adults like on George Floyd, Rayshard Brooks, Breonna Taylor, and George Floyd were like yeah, and they're run-ins with white people that bad white people. Don't mistake that for all white people. And which brings me to from Atlanta to Washington. What happened in Washington D.C. This has been reported by police, and this a boy's grandfather. So a kid named Davon McNeal, he was they were like yeah, he was just on the main street, and then five people who are most likely gangsters, and just and then they literally just jump down and then start shooting at everybody. And Devon was he's in a he was an 11-year-old boy, black boy. And his life got cut short by by people wielding guns. And apparently in Washington D.C., a lot of gun-related crimes are like happening, and also in other U.S. cities, and in all over North America, and it's terrible. So his no, and the grandfather, John Ayala, who the founder of the DC chapter of the Guardian Angels, that said, it seems that people that do not value life, and yeah, and people are like trying to like defund police in these major places, and guess what happened if you take money from the police department and lower the number of police in the area? More shootings, more gang activities, more people dying, and they don't have to be none. They're not always black. So here, and so how this all happened was Davon McNeal, he was boy was he just running. He was on his way to a community cookout, and he was just grabbing a phone charger when when bullet fire happened. So Washington D.C. police are still and like what happened with the 8-year-old girl Secoriea, 8 years old, bullet got to Devon first. So the only information that people have given at the police, and the shooters were they got away in a black car and fled into a nearby alley. So 4th of July weekend also had like 6 children dead, and the youngest was 6 years old. But probably didn't reach grade 1 or 2. So if you, I think with all these young children getting killed because of Black Lives Matter and Defund the Police, and with I've mentioned this before in my June video. So gangs have been much more active and criminals have been much more active in North America, and I'll just rename a few places. The so-called place name called Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone in Seattle. St. Louis. Jane Street and Finch, and Wilson Avenue area, and North York, Toronto. Chicago. And successful one was and the police actually caught like a murderer in Toronto somewhere, and at least they got somebody. So the police are still I don't know what happened to like the people who were there at the protest of the Toronto rapper Houdini, who died in a homicide incident, and the police are still figuring out who were shooting at the protesters. And St. Louis, No one was hurt, so that was fine. Insurance will cover it. And Chaz shop, Capitol Hill autonomous zone in Seattle. No. 16-year-old and 19-year-old both lost their lives, and the police couldn't get to them because the people who made the Chaz legally barricaded the area, so no one outside Seattle could outside their area could go in, and that was pretty stupid of them. What if? So I know, like, when an adults die, like, with something, it's like a sad story. Everyone they blaming the police and for not stopping it, the police brutality and such. But people need to understand black on black crime is still happening, and if a child under the age of, like, 13 dies, it's a sad story. Like, cause or even if teenager got killed, I would be sad about it. No, it's no kid should have to die at such a young age. I know, like, people like kids that they die of, like, when the mother has a miscarriage, or maybe they got in a severe car accident or something, or maybe they got cancer, or they're dealing with a disease that killed them. So those are, like, actually, like, natural causes, and sometimes you can stop it from happening, and sometimes you can't stop it from happening. It's sad. But when it comes to, like, violence and like shootings and killings, yeah. And Secoriea, she was killed by someone from Black Lives Matter in Atlanta. So if you kill someone of your own kind, that's kind of no. And gangsters, yeah. I know police are, like, trying their best to, like, trying to put these gangsters in their place, which is jail. Oh, I just basically, like, this craziness stops, and basically no more young lives are, like, killed by gangsters or people from Black Lives Matter by mistake or deliberately, or basically anyone who, like, trying to, like, murder, homicide, anyone wielding a gun, knife, or whatever weapon they have, and cause it's time you stop blaming like certain people, and it's it's time. I think it's time you should actually, people should actually like get together, make sure kids live in a safe community. So if you see any like hate crimes or like or someone like getting attacked by somebody, call the cops. Report it. Report it to them. Usually, like with the investigation, they'll be like, this person did this with want, and they can figure it out better. And the person who is doing no wrong will be in the pound.